Hey, what's going on, everybody, and welcome back. Today, I'll be painting some Eldari Corsairs. Now we're schmoovin'. Offerings made already? Sheesh. Hey, hold up. Camera's freaking out? Alright, all good. So, I'm painting up some Sky Reavers here. And, yeah. That's about, I'm just gonna be chilling and painting some Sky Reavers. There's my goat. Hell yeah. What's going on, Dark Mage? How's it going? No orange, 0 out of 10. Yeah, thank goodness, no orange. I'm just kidding. Am I though? And I am starting with... Not going too bad. Possibly playing some games soon. Nice, nice, nice. Starting with this, like the ivory color. Because painting that over black is just kind of atrocious, but all good. And I did have some issues where it's looking a little chalky, which tends to happen when you paint really bright colors over dark ones. So we're going to be doing a little bit of, you know, layering up from black. Oh man. I love it when I get the model under the nice bright lights of my streaming setup, and I see all the little bits trapped under the paint. That can sometimes happen. Yeah, just building up to like an ivory color, and then applying the like Seraphim Sepia as a wash is kind of my process for this. And as always, I did mostly paint like a test model first, so you can kind of see the colors. This color here is, it starts off as a mixture of dark navy blue and then dark turquoise, and then you kind of layer up the turquoise as you get brighter. Yeah, and then the black, red, ivory, a little bit of gold. I think it's looking pretty nice. You don't just raw dog your minis? No. I love a good test model. Especially because if I want to change something, I then only have to change it on one model. I don't have to change things on all 5 models. Just because I didn't like it. Sheesh, another offering? We're gonna be at 100 soon. Holy. The dark gods cannot be stopped. All right. Should look pretty gray right now. Again, we're trying to avoid that chalky texture that you get when you kind of highlight up too fast. And the reason I'm painting these models is because I would really like to paint the Karseth and Uriel models. So of course, you paint the infantry as test models for the characters. Test models on test models. You ever get to the end of painting an army? Don't hold up? Yes, that does happen quite a bit. Usually what I do in those situations is I sell the model and start over. And then I can paint it just like I painted the ones at the end. My paint scheme model by model? Yeah, 100%. You also just become a better painter because you've painted 50 models. That's true. That's true. Brush control is noticeably better though. Yeah. Brush control, you don't super have to, you know, lock in and actively practice. Just so long as you're like reasonably trying to paint within the lines, you'll just get better brush control. Which is both nice and like, you know, kind of bad, because at the end of the day, you do have to just paint minis to get better brush control, you know? Kind of the best way to go about it. My hands locked F in the moment I'm painting trim. Hell yeah. Easy. So I think, well, we'll see how the ivory stage looks, but it's looking pretty good so far, which brings the total steps to paint ivory to 3. So you do kind of a, you know, like a relatively dark gray. And then a lighter gray. And then ivory. Just to make sure we're getting like solid coverage and we're not getting that really chalky finish. But yeah, so I know you're planning on getting the launch box. But do you already have orc models? Like, do you already have an orc army? Or is this gonna be how you start it? And we're gonna touch up the black at the end. Just because, so that we don't have to worry about it. Since we have to do so many layers of the ivory. Just ordered a new Shatterpoint box, couldn't resist. Holy. You're going all in on Star Wars, huh? Which Shatterpoint box did you order? Star Wars get better than 40K? Holy! I mean, hey, I'm on that Star Wars Legends hype train too. That Mandalorian army box will be coming. End of June. Yo, you better pay tithes with that mouth, yo. Gets here by June 20th? Oh boy. Doesn't it come out the 19th? Not to rain on your parade or anything. Or was it the 12th? God. I'll say it again, yo. Did you say which Shatterpoint box you got? It comes out the 19th. I'm hoping for a Christmas miracle. Yeah. I got quite an interesting one. Ayo. Oh, that is very interesting. From the Phantom Menace? Yeah. Sounds like a pretty cool box. Better than Blood Angels? Yo. It is probably better than what's in the launch box for sure.
That's why it's the GOAT! The GOAT!
Hey, what's going on, Wolf? How's it going? Are you planning on picking up a launch box? Based off the reveals yesterday? Need more Andor characters? Yeah, I chose violence. Dark Mage did indeed choose violence today. That's a no from me, dog, yo. Yeah. I'm personally a fan of the land speeder. But maybe that's just because I like land speeders. But yeah, they definitely didn't really release... I mean, they didn't release anything new. And more than half the models are intercessors. Just regular old intercessors. So... Is stressing them out bad? Yeah. The helmet with the plume was pretty cool though. It was a little like Horus Heresy pilled. Which is not a bad thing, for sure. Yeah, I thought that was pretty cool. The librarian itself is okay. It's kind of just like a resculpt. Like they did say it in the preview where they were like, it's kind of just like a resculpt of a different librarian model. Yeah. They did a couple things with Crimson Fists, which makes me think they'll get a little bit of love. Which would be pretty cool. Don't make me dream, it's too painful. All right. 10 coats later. We have a solid ivory coat. All right. But yeah, no Space Marine bikers, which is interesting. Considering the big rumors were like this was gonna be like a fast attack kind of edition. It was just a land speeder. Is it beating the allegations? Yeah. And I mean, it could come out because they'll do like a wave 1, right? Like where both orcs and space marines will get a release. Like they'll be the first ones to get releases early 11th, right? They'll do like a campaign where it's like play the launch box and report who wins, and whoever wins the most gets the reveals first. I guess could class as fast attack if you were partially blind and squint. Yeah. But yeah, maybe we'll get some more stuff in the release wave after 11 starts. But yeah, like 9th, like the Indomitus box had the bikers. The Outriders. All good though. Yeah, you know it'll be a pretty long time. And it won't be nearly as good of a deal, for sure. Hey, yo. That's also just a straight up lie. Best viewers? No, 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 no. No, 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 no. They don't know about Dark Mage and Wolf. I already have the best viewers. Heck yeah, he does. Hell yeah. You know, I don't know why. Honestly, I don't know why I'm doing it this way. Like I've painted Deathwing, right? And it wasn't this hard. Like I've painted skulls and stuff. I don't know why I tried to come up with a new process for painting this. Look at me, we are the furniture now. May have impulse bought Major kills Sanguinius. Sheesh! That sounds pretty crazy. This won't bring him back, you know? Yeah, yo. Dark Mage really did wake up and choose violence today. Your hate on the goat sways me none. Yeah. Hell yeah. Conviction. We love some good conviction. No hate, just facts. Yeah. Some nice sepia tone on there. No hate, just hate. Yeah. Yo. He's dead too, yo. That he is. Wait, so Wolf, does that mean you're gonna get the launch box too? To start your Blood Angels army? You know, with all the Blood Angels specific characters that are in there? Oh, man. Just go find the that Death Company box? Yeah. You know, they coulda put like an upgrade sprue in there, you know? Or two. Surely GW's not hurting for money that much that they couldn't put like an upgrade sprue in the box for Dark Angels, or for Blood Angels, you know? I'm also still of the opinion that they should make Warhammer kits more modular, so that like when you buy, say like an Intercessor box at like a GW store, they're like, hey, what upgrade sprue do you want with that box? And then you can get whatever chapter you want. But they didn't ask me. Instead, it's the classic push fit minis that you actually can't even that the shoulder pads are attached. So you can't even like easily swap out the shoulder pads, like even if you wanted to. Which on stream they tried to pass off as a good thing. They're like, oh, it makes them easier to build. Like, is it really that much easier to build? I promise, gluing on shoulder pads is not a problem that needed fixing. You know, it is a problem that needs fixing though. Shoulder pads that are split down the middle. Yeah. Mold lines in the middle of shoulder pads are like, or you have to glue shoulder pads together that are split down the middle. That needs fixing. You know what else needs fixing? What? Having to glue a hand on an arm, then gland. Yeah. Yeah. But that's the best thing about Warhammer. right. It allows more pose options. Yeah. Sometimes there is quite a bit of trade-off between like ease of build, posability, like, you know, like they're trying to have, you know, more dynamic poses for their models, but sometimes that reduces like posability, or it reduces like ease of building. So there, yeah, there's definitely a bit of trade-off there for sure. Until it just keeps falling apart, yeah. That's like one of those things where you kind of just have to you have to glue on like one part at a time and fully wait for the glue to dry before moving on. Which often means you're like building in, you know, multiple sessions, which sucks. It sometimes means you don't get to just sit down and build a full kit. We are getting there. All right. I think last one here. We're just touching up black and doing a little bit of edge highlighting. And then we're done with the ivory. Yeah, like I said, I'm not a super big fan of the way I did it. I'll probably just go back to the other way I have of doing bone. Because this was honestly pretty awful. Took forever, not terribly pleased with the results. GW glue lets me down. You know that it might be that you're not holding the piece long enough. Like I like to, apply pressure to like hold the piece. Like apply pressure and hold the piece on for like, I don't know, 20 seconds or so. You mostly just want to make sure that like the glue has time to fully set and make the connection. If you keep having problems with like pieces coming off, then that might be your issue. I do use GW's glue, and I tend to not have problems with it. So another option is you could just have bad glue. I don't know, a bad batch of GW glue. But I've personally never seen you glue anything, so, speculation. Yeah, you could try like holding it down for a little bit longer, making sure the connection stays like that kind of thing. Also, like, gluing some pieces together and like letting it sit for like half an hour for certain connections, just to make sure, because if you're continuing to like build the model and like messing with a piece while the glue's trying to set, like that's another point of failure that can cause the connection to not be as strong. Because I do think it does take a while for it to be like fully set. Usually though, 20 to 30 seconds is usually enough for it to be set, but some connections where you need the glue to be fully done might take a little bit longer. It's a similar kind of thing with like primer, right? Like when you prime something, usually 20 to 30 minutes can be enough time, but it does technically take like hours for the glue to fully set, or for the primer to fully set. So like there is a chance that you could tear the primer layer if you're too rough. Similar kind of thing. Extra thin, extra thick. Yeah. I use GW glue mostly, so. Alright, I'm now moving on to the red here. Actually, you know what? We're gonna do some turquoise because I'm feeling like painting some armor. Alright, so I got on my palette is a dark navy blue. I did, I originally tested mixing the dark teal with black, but I feel like that was a little too desaturated, so I went with dark blue instead. So yeah, just make it a little more saturated, because I do like the teal color. extra thick for arms and glue them to the base. Nice. Yeah, I actually kind of have a little bit of the opposite, where for gluing things to the base, I tend to do a pretty light amount of glue, so that if I want to detach the model at some point for, like, I don't know, doing the base, or like I can't reach part of the model. Ugh, biggest pet peeve. Not being able to reach part of the model while I'm painting. Yeah. So I'll make some connections intentionally fairly light. So that I can disconnect them if needed. right. Alright, you should start to see that teal start to come through. Few layers up. I might have gone too dark with the initial base, but does mean we've built in some pretty nice shadows, so we don't have to do a lot of shading. 40k burnout is so real. Dang. That's tough. Hopefully, a little bit of Shatterpoint and Legion will bring you back. No, I mean, burnout is definitely real. And like, you know, sometimes it's tough to, especially because 40k, like, there's a lot going on kind of all the time. And, you know, because of like how many models you have to paint and build for armies and whatever. You can get burned out pretty quick. But that doesn't fit the universe, just kills a tiny piece of my soul. Oof. Yo, who's been telling you that? And you're usually a pretty, like, grimdark painter, too. I feel like usually when people say that kind of stuff, it's because, like, someone showed up with, like, super colorful minis, you know? Like, that doesn't fit in the universe. It's like we've forgotten that it's fiction? Yeah, I agree. People can be a bit serious about that stuff. It's funny, I'm a part of a Discord for the, for like my local game store. And they were also not super happy with the launch box. I think it's, I think it's getting to the point where GW might have to think about reworking their strategy. For a couple of things. I think it's getting to the point where it's not good enough anymore, you know? Is that my friend about a custom chapter? Cool, cool. Ooh. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I think part of the draw of Space Marines is that you can kind of create your own custom chapters and stuff, right? Like, that is, at least in my eyes, part of the draw. It's a little weird to start drawing lines in the sand now. People do get weirdly technical about the way in-universe lore works for some reason, you know? A bit of a prison. Yeah, I think the issue is some people just care too much about the lore. Which, you know, causes all those issues with people being like, ah. I can't believe GW changed the lore on this. Although, to be fair, it's kind of the same for most fandoms, you know? Hence my burnout, yeah. Bro, what a nice color, you know? Green and blue at the same time? Holy. Nothing like that orange color. Ew. Yeah, Trench Crusade's definitely an option. Star Wars Legion, an option. I know gameplay-wise, some interesting things about both games are like, you know, Star Wars Legion is alternating activations, which is fun. I like it when games are alternating activations as opposed to my turn, your turn. Trench Crusade, everything's on 2d6, which is kind of cool. Gives you a bit more options. I feel like games that are on 1d6 are a bit limited in like differentiating different units. That isn't Fugan? No, it's not. I put Fugan to the side for now. We're now painting up some Eldari Corsairs. A very different color as well. Is like act and react, which makes it interesting. I agree. It's the same kind of reason I like Kill Team, you know? Like, I think alternating activations and like reactions and stuff, it makes the game a lot more interactive and enjoyable. How am I doing? I'm doing all right. Nothing too crazy going on right now. I'm gonna have to make it out so we can play Kill Team again sometime soon. Yes, so they... Here, I'll get the box. They did a tad bit of an expansion for like 40K based off of the kind of the Corsairs Kill Team and such. So that's where these models are from. Yo, magical question, did the scouts finally get buffed enough to be decent? That is a good question, and I hope so. I really like Space Marine scouts, and it's a bit tragic that their kill team is not great. I'll leave it at that. Yeah, sadly, I did have a bit of an issue with my foot. Again. So I've been out of commission for a little bit. That's why I haven't really been around to do kill team stuff. Equals biomass? They kinda are. Which is tragic. Maybe this is the time, yeah. What about my boys, the Vespids? I kind of like the Vespids, but they have a similar problem where it's like, wow, this team looks really fun. And then you kind of play them, and it's just like, meh, you know? Like they kind of don't do enough on the tabletop to make them good. And that always kind of sucks, you know? I don't think Vespids got touched. No, they didn't. They still, yeah. They're still kind of in a place where, like, Vespids are good on Volcus. Or they can be good on Volcus. But they also get hard stuffed by certain teams. They get Rule of Cool, so I forgive them. They're definitely cool. And the Tau Vespid models needed an update so bad. So I'm glad they got like really cool models. They hit on 4s and die easily, yeah. Yeah. They do have some kind of cool damage negation. Like, it's like aerial hijinks or something is the name of the rule. Where it's like, sometimes they can just blank damage. But they do die pretty easily. can be tragic. Oh no. Yeah. Yeah, I just kind of have foot problems again. That probably got, you know, like it probably came about because of all the walking I did at Adepticon, but oops. But yeah, I don't know if I talked about the tournament on the stream. I played Kill Team at Adepticon in just like a pods tournament, and it was pretty fun. I got to play some like really good Kill Team players, who were like there practicing for the you know, the actual Kill Team event. They were some sweaty games, let me tell you. And luckily, I didn't have to play against like all Wolf Scouts, because I know that's been a problem for a bit, or like all Canoptic. I played against one Wolf Scout player. I played against a Rekka Crew player. I played against Kazarkin, and I played against Inquisitorial Agents, which was pretty cool. Yeah, he was a very chill guy. But he was the kind of player where he's like, I'm so good at Kill Team, so like I'll stomp you into the ground, but I'll be chill about it, you know? Do I like the new balance patch overall? Yeah, I think I like the new balance patch. I overall didn't like that they just straight up murdered Hyrotech Circle. So them kind of like reverting the Hyrotech Circle changes that killed them was nice to see. Like, I tend to hate it when, you know, they take the balance approach of like, oh, we see this too much, so let's just like kill it, and then nobody plays it. That's not very fun. But I also like what they did with like Wolf Scouts. I'm hoping that it'll kind of stop them from just being able to like run down certain teams. They did nerf both those teams. And I'm not exactly sure why they nerfed Nemclaw. I didn't think Nemesis Claw needed a nerf. But I also don't exactly remember the changes that they made. The balance changes suck then. 0 out of 10. Yeah, Nemclaw, yeah. I think I remember them both getting fairly small nerfs. Which, like, Murder Wing was fairly problematic, so, like, kinda deserved. But... It feels like Nemclaw kind of caught a stray, you know? They were just standing next to Murder Wing. Got caught in the crossfire. Some of the changes were odd, I agree. They also like randomly buffed one of the Votann teams. But they buffed Salvagers, which I don't know if they needed a buff. And they didn't buff Jaegers, who I think definitely needed a buff. I just want my little dwarves in like leather jackets to be like pretty good, you know? All right. Teal armor, complete. And looking nice, honestly. If I do say so myself. Let me see, where's that box actually? The Corsairs have like gold filigree on their armor. I gotta figure out what I'm supposed to paint gold. Both. Usually, it's both. It's like it'll be like a test to make sure it's the right consistency, but then also to make sure that I don't have too much paint on my brush. Because yeah, if you have too much paint on your brush, it'll like flood across the model, which is not good. I want it to go where I want it to go. So I'd rather have it flood across on my thumb. But then also, like, if the paint's too wet or too dry, like, I'll notice when I apply it to my thumb before I put it on the model. Some people wear like a glove when they paint, which, like, honestly, I don't really get it. Like, acrylic paint is non-toxic and it comes off fairly easily, so not sure why you would waste like a latex glove. I don't like how it feels. That's true. It can also be fairly alarming sometimes. This kind of color, like blackish blue, can make me think I have like a, you know, if you like catch it out of the corner of your eye, it's like, oh, why do I have a giant bruise on my thumb? Similar with like red, like bright red can be alarming as well. Like, oh, when did my thumb start bleeding? Oh, wait. Oh, no. No. You let a bit of blood for the blood god on there? Yeah, facts. Let me get my wash real quick. The only acceptable wash to use on gold, Reikland Flesh Shade. The model has a nice pose. I agree. They did a really good job with the flying poses. This one's another pretty good one. My camera will focus. The model's at like a 45-degree angle. Which is kind of nice. Yeah, here's another one. They are looking, you know, the Eldari are like super agile, fast elves. These models are definitely looking the part. Must be some Eldar magic with wings that tiny. Yeah, for sure. They're definitely like super light because their armor's made from like wraith bone. And they're using their super fancy tech to fly around. Oh yeah, did you see the launch box? I think you might enjoy the orc models that they previewed that will be coming in the 11th edition launch box. Yup, they revealed the contents of the 11th edition 40K launch box yesterday. So yeah, if you haven't seen that, like I said, you probably enjoy it because the 40K, because the orc models pretty cool. I just got even more gold paint. Yo. Sheesh. What kind of gold paint did you get? Does the thing have a name? Are you talking about like the walker? Or the launch box? What brand of gold did you get? This time. Yeah, DACA rig. And I think from what they were saying, it's like an orc mecha knob. Riding in the back. The mech's been cooking up? Yeah, fags. Oh, you mean Pro Acryl Rich Gold? Interesting. What an interesting choice in paints. Huh? You gotta let me know how that stacks up against the other golds. I have not personally tested all of the golds, so it's a Big Mac. Yeah. Yeah, the DACA rig, the Weird Boy, the Pain Boy. I think those are my top 3 from the orc side. For a new Def Dread model, but oh well, yeah. But I do appreciate that with the orc side of the box, they decided to go with something new as opposed to like just redoing old models, because just redoing old models is kind of what made the Space Marine side so boring, you know? The War Track is an honorable mention? Yeah, I agree. Oh, I forgot about the banner orc. He's pretty hype with the enormous orc banner. The starters have more and more units. I don't know, is that true? I feel like Leviathan had more units, but I could be wrong. Like, I feel like there was a lot in the NIDS box. But the back of that model does not look cool. You mean all the like all the wires and stuff coming off the back? Oh my goodness. The gold filigree on this model, they put too much. Too much gold filigree. It's very bare bones, yeah. Yeah, it seems like, you know, like detail creep is a thing, right? But it seems like they're trying to counter detail creep in some weird ways. Like the back of the weird boy being super plain. You know? Or like random models will have very little detail, like the Sanguinary Guard that they put out. You know, like it was a bit of a weird choice. So, yeah, I'm in the yes and no kind of spot. It does, so like, right now, for example, right, where I've spent like half an hour painting the gold filigree on this dude's armor. And he's just like a squad leader. Like, he's not a character or anything. I feel like that kind of sucks. But you do want your like fancy important models to be fancy and important, you know? Yeah, everything, it takes a really long time to paint when there's a lot of detail on the model. Yeah, it can also make a model a little hard to look at. Like if there's too much going on, it's like, where do I even put my eyeballs, you know? Like where do my eyes even go? What should I be looking at? What am I looking at? And one thing that they've started doing is, instead of giving you like a bunch of bits in the box, like a bunch of pouches and purity seals and stuff, they've been just putting those on the model. Which means, like, you know, if I wanted to like control the level of detail on my model, I can't do that as easily now because it's all on the model, you know? Like I don't have a choice as to whether or not it goes on the model. Whereas before I could, you know, very easily myself make, say, my intercessors less detailed than my veterans, you know? I don't have as much control like that. Yeah, it's not so hard to like clip it off as it is to like make sure it looks good after you've clipped it off. Cause like you could clip it off, but then there would be like a divot in your model, you know? Like, you know, or like they have like a bunch of pouches on their belt, and it's like, well, you know, it's hard to like remove that pouch without also removing other parts of the model, and it can kind of look bad. Like if you mess it up, it's definitely a lot easier to have like the option of like, hey, I could put it on myself. I did order the Wazdaka Gutsmech. An absolute pain to paint, yeah. Yeah. Hard to make the belt look normal after clipping stuff off, yeah. So then you have to like clip it off and like fill it in with green stuff. and then like sand it down to make sure the green stuff, like, you know, and it's just kind of a big pain. Especially when before you had the option to put it on or not, you know? Yeah. Detail creep on vehicles, it's not as big of an issue for me because I feel like vehicles you can just not paint a good chunk of the details, you know? Like you just dry brush metallic over the whole thing and then you can choose how many details you like pick out and paint, you know? I guess you can do that with other minis as well. But I feel like it looks a little more weird if like a leather pouch is the same color as the Space Marine armor, as opposed to like a bunch of mechanical parts are metal. Do you do many vehicles? I don't. The most vehicles I do is my Chaos Knights, actually. Although I do have some Eldari vehicles that I'm planning on doing soon. Yeah, these bad boys. Which is like the new Viper / Corsair jet bike thing. And then like a Wave Serpent. Yeah, on the cover of the box, yep. So, those should be coming soon. But yeah, I definitely don't do many vehicles. I tend to like foot characters and infantry tend to be my favorite models to paint. And then the opposite with the occasional giant knight. Yeah, no worries. Thanks for hanging out, Dark Mage. And hopefully I'll see you again tomorrow. Hope you have a great rest of your day. I hope Wolf Scouts will get will get knocked down a bit. Both play rate and win rate wise. And I think they will. I think this should land them in the healthy range. Cause like they still Knights are foot, not infantry. You're right. They are still like they're still kind of like foot models. But yeah, they still have a lot of really strong stuff. Like the storm is still enormous. They could still start off the game with 3 extra victory point or 3 extra command points. Like team wide, ignore injury. So they still have a pretty good chunk of very solid abilities. So I definitely don't think they're dead. I didn't see the new Scouts command point or the new Scouts equipment. I saw that the bipods got moved into the heavy weapon Scouts profile, but I didn't see what they replaced it with. Every turn. Oh. Yeah. That's kind of nice. Essentially 2 to 3, yeah. Which is pretty good. I mean, definitely requires a good amount of planning to use well. Cause like you're normally 2 APL. So you kind of need to plan like, okay, who's gonna get the extra APL to be in a position to use the double fight and stuff. You do have some options because like your leader is 3 APL and can hand out 3 APL, and there's a once per game plus 1 APL option that they can take. Oh, it's global now? Oh, man. Apparently, I didn't read the scout changes close enough. Oh, it was always rangeless? Oh, I see. I thought it was ranged and visibility, because that's normally what it is. Normally it has both range and visibility. But yeah, then, but also like the once per game plus 1 APL is a strategic gambit. So you do have to do a bit of planning there. But Oh, it's twice per game? Oh, man. Yeah, they might be... I might have to start paying attention to scouts again. I wrote them off pretty heavy when I kept trying to make them work, and it just wasn't happening. I wrote them off pretty hard. Yeah, a lot of buffs have been a small thing here or there, yeah. Yeah, now I think the biggest thing with them is you really want to make sure that it's like spacing now, right? Because a lot of their ploys require you to be like more than 3 inches away from an enemy. And you need those ploys to be able to like recycle your abilities, right? Because like all your abilities are kind of stacked in these ploys, where it's like when you change from conceal to engage, you get like super buffed. And they kind of need that to do damage. But then the ploy to go back to conceal requires you to like to be more than 3 inches away from enemies. So you need to like activate, focus down something, and then make sure you end up with good spacing so that you can like reset your stuff. So it kind of, so I feel like it kind of, you know, like how good they'll be kind of depends on how easily you can do that. Might just mean they have, you know, not as good of a matchup into like melee teams or horde teams, because horde teams can kind of like tie you up. They have the extra models to like tie you up with. Yeah, I agree. They definitely feel a lot better now. We'll have to test them out. Yeah, if you don't play them next time, I might. Sounds good. I'll have to see. So, next time we play, I might have like a Nemclaw team ready as well. I haven't really put a whole lot of time into the Sisters kill team. But also, Hyrotech is back in business, so if you want to pull Hyrotech out again, that's also an option. I remember a couple matches of Scouts against Hyrotechs. One didn't go super well on Volcus because all the shotguns didn't... I wasn't able to like get my shotguns into like an effective range. But shotguns on Tomb World did go pretty well. Like that was a solid match. Valorant does start up again next week. Should be like... We'll have to see if we can get everyone together for it. An offering made to the Dark Gods to make it an even 90? Valorant? Yeah. I have a, I play on a Valorant team with my, with some of my friends. we have a premier team. I've been trying to learn, but I just get cooked. It's a tough game to learn. a good amount of It's an offering on behalf of your team. Not sure if it'll help or hinder. Yeah, that's how offerings to the Dark Gods often go. Will it help or hinder? Who's to say? Depends on the whimsy of the Dark Gods. Make it hard to learn by experience? Yeah. Yeah. It's a lore accurate facts. There's definitely a big knowledge gap that you have to cross. Like, you need both. There's a big like mechanics gap, and then also like a knowledge gap of like you need to know how to play your agent, and you need to know like how the maps are supposed to be played. that like you need to cross. They're pretty big gaps to cross before you start feeling like pretty comfortable. I agree. It's helpful to watch streamers who are former coaches. It's also helpful to watch like a lot of times, like, you know, there'll be VODs of like pro players playing specific agents. So like picking one agent to play and like watching how someone who's good at the game plays it and like mimicking that is another good way to go. And then yeah, just making sure like you're practicing mechanics and stuff. Watching games is much more fun because drama. That's true. That's true. Watching the pro matches is a lot of fun. Anyway, I'm probably gonna hop off now. I streamed for a pretty good amount of time today, and I'm starting to get pretty tired, so thank you all for watching. I'll be streaming again tomorrow, so yeah, hopefully at least they have a shorter game mode though, so I'm not stuck going to 13. I agree, Swift play is pretty fun. Fun chatting? For sure. W stream? Hey, thanks Wolf, and thanks again for the sub. I appreciate it. You the goat. Yeah, I hope you all have a great rest of your day. And hopefully I'll see you next time. Bye.